You just saw her shaking her head a minute ago. What do you think she's shaking her head about? Well, what's flying around your face?
The flies.
You got some little teeny flies that you can hardly see. And so when she shakes her ears, it's to get the flies out of her ears. There was another thing that she just did a minute ago, which is she was swishing her tail. There's several different things that horses do can tell us with their tail. If they start wringing their tail, that's letting us know that they're unhappy about something. And one of the things that she just did is she turned her head toward you. And what she's doing with you right now, a couple things, she's herding you out of the way so that she can get over and check out the camera stand right there. What might that tell you about a horse?
That they want to be like the leader.
Well, they're very curious. Aren't you curious when there's something that you're curious about, you move closer to it. Horses are a lot like humans in many different ways. Now she's turning her head toward you. Depending on the energy with which she does that, a horse can move into you very quickly, and it's a way of pushing you back. There's only 3 directions that energy ever goes in the universe, and horses play this out living large. They will push and drive each other. They will draw or pull each other, pull another toward them, and they block. And they typically use their head to block by turning it. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now is we're just going to start walking with her, with you leading like you've done before, and just tell me what you notice as you are walking her. Okay, you ready?
And Katie, due to the fact this is being filmed, if you could speak up just a little bit. You see, Chanel, she says if I could talk, I'd be out talking all of you because I think I like this camera thing. So, okay.
Chanel is walking shoulder to shoulder, and that's a sign of cooperation. She's very willing to do that. She's also very, very aware of where you are, even though you're not in the direct line of.
Now, you may not be able to hear everything that's going on with Leah and Katie out there, but Leah's explaining how Chanel, our favorite little horse here, is cooperating and walking, but how she's aware and sensing where Katie is at the time she's moving. Many times in our old field, we may not be looking directly at something, yet we're sensing, and we're also giving information on how we're willing to cooperate with those around us or how we're not willing to cooperate. And again, this comes from many times our own personal experiences and the way we perceive the world. What's really fun about this is Chanel is saying, look, this is easy and I'm willing to join you.
There's nothing real dramatic that I can think of to do because of camera here. How about if you start doing an S, start turning it. Now when she turns to do that, what is your feeling about that? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Would you wish you... Excellent. So when she bumps you with your head, it's like somebody coming into your space without permission, isn't it? So if that's the way you feel, then one of the ways you can do is you can block that energy. If she starts to swing her head into you, you can put your hand up. That's one way to block the energy. And that's a good thing to learn how to do because there's lots of people in your life that when they move toward you, what do you want to do? They'll typically move you back. And you don't have to always move back. There are certain situations where you might be so.
Okay, what Leia's been explaining, and I'm not sure if you can hear everything that she's saying, but she was talking about how Katie felt when Chanel would bump her with her head and be in her space. And also how that works with human behavior, that many times that we have people come into our space and they step too far into it, and how to go ahead and hold your own position. That's personal empowerment. And how to block or send them back a little. And you can do that easily without holding a lot of fear or anxiety, and just do it in a way that's calm and gentle, but stating, hold it, this is my space, and I'm not comfortable with it. It also is showing how, giving an idea of how to step into guiding another, but guiding from the heart. Even though I first should let you know, this is one of Katie's third experiences with horses, and there is a little bit of nervousness, yet you see that she didn't let fear override her, and the horse is helping her with this. Leia is helping her with this. And that's how we interact in life. When one is more sure than the other, when we reach out to this being and guide them in a way that's gentle and loving. Now, sometimes you won't be able to hear exactly what Leia's saying, and so you will hear me bringing the information forward. And what Leia's teaching Katie is how to be in her space, but also what may cause some irritation for the horse, but how to hold her own space and stay personally empowered.
Now, what we're doing, she's just walking her 10 feet or so, stopping, backing her up. We've already talked about personal space and the choices she can make when the horse moves into her personal space. She can either engage with pushing the horse back, or she can change the activity. And if she puts the horse back to work, she doesn't even get into any kind of a power struggle with her.
Now, in human behavior, how does this relate? Because I know your work isn't just with the horses, but also human behavior. What does this teach a person here?
It teaches a person to focus on a solution instead of focusing on the problem. The more you focus on the problem, the more you can actually be engaging conflict. Instead, what she's doing right now is she's looking for a way to redirect the energy so that it's not headbutting, so to speak.
Well, many times people don't understand. They're sending out an energy whenever they participate in anything. So now redirecting your energy, and a lot of people how do you like that word? Think that this means they give up and they lose. There is no losing in redirecting energy.
No, we're always looking for solutions, a win-win solution. And with horses, they want to feel good about themselves just like we want to feel good about ourselves. And if she does like what she's doing right now, she's rewarding Chanel every time Chanel does what she wants her to do, that she feels good about, both of them feel good about themselves. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, if you look at the size of Katie and you look at the size of Chanel, for children, for her to be able to move a horse that large is very confidence building. And when she goes back to school this fall and she's going into a new school where she doesn't know as many people as she knew from the school that she's coming from, this time with moving a horse will be very helpful for her, just to build confidence that if I can move a horse that's this big, then I will be able to handle the situations that come up in school.
And that's good. And you notice that she's not doing it with any force, no rebellion, nothing. It's all positive energy, positive reinforcement. And I did explain to the people viewing today that this is Katie's third experience with a horse, and that she was slightly fearful. And this helps, like you said, step into their confidence, but their personal empowerment, and to move forward even when there's some fear.
Yes, definitely. And we do that in training horses too. One of the difficulties that I see happen with people is that we try to move ahead to take great big steps. What Katie's doing is taking small steps, building confidence, and then going on to the next level. And she's doing that over and over. And frankly, over the 30 years or so that I've been a psychologist, I have observed that people make small changes over a period of time. And if your timing is off and you try to make too big a changes too fast, there'll be a backlash of fear that can actually be counterproductive.
And that's a huge lesson in itself. And it's also recognizing when you do make a change, acknowledge it. Really, you know, as Katie is reinforcing it with positive praise, petting, that sort of thing, it's to do the same for ourselves.
Absolutely.
I mean, many times people forget that some of the, you know, to acknowledge themselves. We've been taught in our world that you're not supposed to do that. It's been interpreted as something negative, like egotism, this, you know, bigger than your own, what is that old saying?
Too big for your britches.
Exactly. Instead of really acknowledging it, rewarding yourself the same way and giving yourself emotional and physical pats on the head and pats on the back.
Yeah.
So, well, I am going to end this for today, and we're going to let Katie and Leah go ahead and continue working with Chanel. I thank each and every cast member with me, and Leah is going to join us again. I really do want to show the world how wonderful this work is, and Leah's going to be working, if I remember right, with children with some disadvantages in life, such as foster children here. And so this is a very wonderful interactive way for the children to bond, to reinforce positive behavior, and to learn about themselves. But it's not limited to just children. It's also adults can do the same.
Absolutely. And thank you for having me.
Oh,
Sherry.
it's my pleasure.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.